now dropped 3 straight and find themselves on the brink of losing the finals to the Bucks. Chris Paul said Phoenix needs to regroup after the 3 losses and focus on Game 6. Fox Sports NBA analyst Chris Broussard joining us now. Chris, who is most to blame for the Suns losing 3 straight at this point?
Jen, I think the word blame is too strong.
Okay.
Because I don't think there's a GOAT in this series. You know, we used to use the word GOAT like in a negative way, like the guy who blew it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's been the case. I think these are 2 evenly matched teams. We all have to face it. We know the best player on the court in the series plays for Milwaukee. So being down 3-2, I don't think there's shame in that. I can point to every star in Phoenix, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, if we want to give him that status. They've each had 1 really bad game, but none have been bad to the point where I would blame them in this series. But if I have to pick one guy for the sake of discussion, then it's going to be the guy who would get the most, who would be celebrated the most if Phoenix were to win, and that's Chris Paul. Look, even if Devin Booker is the finals MVP and Phoenix wins, Chris Paul is going to get the lion's share of the celebration. We're going to praise him. And so if you lose, you get the lion's share of the blame. Now, obviously, you look at Game 4. That was his bad game. Booker's incredible with 42 points. CP gives him no help. If he gives him any help in that game, other than more than the 10 points, the 5 turnovers, Phoenix likely goes up 3-1, and then it's pretty much academic from there, and they're probably going to win the series. But instead, he has the 5 turnovers in the late one that cost him a chance to try to win the game. And then last night, look, Chris was great Saturday night. He was very good. 21 points, 11 assists, only 1 turnover. Excellent in the 4th quarter with the 10 points in the 4th, hit 2 threes. But here's why I pick him. I can't pick Booker in my mind, even though he had the late turnover with a 40-point game. He carried them all night. Why I pick Chris is because of the foul on Giannis on the alley-oop with 13 seconds to go. Now, ideally, Chris would be able to get to Giannis and grab him and keep him from going up. And so now you send a poor free throw shooter to the line. He probably misses both, or certainly one of them, and you got a chance to come down and do something. But he did the absolute worst thing you could do. I don't think he could get to him in time to grab him, so he just fouled him. And as soon as I see this play, I'm like, why did you foul? Because, you know, now you're down 3. He goes to the line, and I get it that Giannis missed it. But we all know Giannis made a great play and tipped it back to Chris Middleton, the rebound. Middleton makes 1 of 2, and it's over. If Chris doesn't foul Giannis, and they've got the ball now with 13 seconds left, down 3, a chance to get a good shot, draw up a good play, and at least a better chance to win that game. So, like I said, I think this is nitpicking. I don't think one guy's been horrible, but I'd pick Chris if I have to pick one.
Well, here's the thing, Chris. As you found it very hard to blame any of the players, I didn't blame the players. I blame Monty Williams because I think he's not doing a very good job of coaching because he continuously allowed DeAndre Ayton to let Giannis drive baseline. That's coaching. Why would, when they made that run in the 6th, for some reason, I don't know what the reason is, Monty Williams is afraid to call timeout. Boo knows that they're going to 6-0 run. Bud jumping up calling timeout. He's going to stem the tide of momentum. When did Monty Williams call a timeout? Once the lead got down to 4? And think about how long he had Booker glued to the bench in the 2nd quarter. Why would you do that? Why would you put Booker and Ayton on the bench at the same time? You lose your rim protector, you lose your rebounder, and you lose your scorer. They got Devin Booker. Milwaukee cut the lead from 16-3 with 8:30 left. Booker, that was before Booker checked in. Now, Booker was at the table for 6:30 at the 6:14 mark. What? What are you doing? Why would you do that? Why not call a timeout? Once they got the lead to 10 from 16-17, timeout, book it up. That's what you got to do. That's his responsibility. Stop trying to let, I got Chris Paul out there. He's a veteran player. No, you're the head coach. You stem the tide of the momentum. This is not international play. Man, look, Monty's not doing a good job, Chris. Hey, I like Monty too, and I like his calm demeanor. But right now, he's not doing a good job because he has to stem the tide of the momentum when he sees it shifting. He has to do a better job of understanding. I can't keep my rim protector, my rebounder, and scorer off the floor at the same time. What's the likelihood you seeing Giannis and Middleton off the court at the same time, Chris? What's the likelihood of that happening? That's not going to happen. So I don't know what maybe he's trying to like, well, we got something coming down the pipeline. But, bro, whatever you got to throw everything that you have. I just think Monty Williams, yeah, Chris didn't play well in Game 4. But I don't think Monty Williams has coached very well either, because there are times earlier that he took DeAndre Ayton off the floor when Giannis is on the floor. And what happens when you take Ayton off the court in the Giannis? They go down to Brook Lopez, and what does he do? Layup, tap, rebound, offensive rebounding. So I'm going to put this one, if I'm going to blame somebody, I'm going to blame Monty Williams.
Okay, I don't disagree with your points about Monty Williams, although to Chris's point about Chris Paul at the end of the game on the Giannis dunk, the alley-oop, you can't blame Monty for that because you got the point guard out there, a guy who's 16 years in the league, and he just, as Chris has done many times in the playoffs, went completely over the edge of frustration. Yeah. He just lost it. We've seen him hit below the belt. We've seen him do a lot of things in frustration, and he just fouled Giannis out of pure, crazy, angry frustration.
What about the play before that? When Devin Booker's having the ball up and coming up the court. What about Monty Williams call timeout and say, let's get a play?
I tweeted that. I would have done that. But he saw Devin Booker get the rebound off a Drew Holiday miss. And I think Monty was thinking, yeah, I got one in my back pocket, but I got the guy with the ball in his hands, and as you said earlier in the show, who's not going to let Milwaukee set its defense.
They had already set then, that's okay.
All right, but he's just dribbling up the floor, and this is hard to teach your coach.
They got three. Look at this. Where are you going?
No, I got it.
Where are you going?
I got it. Well, it's single coverage, and you just go up right now. You just go up and shoot right there. You had him right there at the free throw line. You had him, just go straight up and shoot your shot, because that's what he shoots best. He doesn't shoot 3-foot turnarounds on Giannis in the middle of the lane, and he got too deep. He just kept saying, I'll go a little deeper, and he went out into too deep a water, and when he wheeled, he lost the ball because, obviously,
Holiday was right there.
Just right there and just took it right out of his hands. So I give you all that, but Chris Paul had gone over, then went over the edge. And how's he going to, like Chris Broussard said, I'm not going to wrap up a 6'11" guy flying at the rim.
He's already up in there now. So.
You got no shot, and you foul him, and then you got lucky because he missed the free throw. And then you got completely unlucky because he missed it so badly that it bounced all the way back.